Last class we have finished our discussion on the first topic in our course, which was about doing amortized analysis on a data structure. Today we are going to discuss about a data structure called binary heap that you already have learned in your undergraduate studies. The next topic which is included in our course is an advanced heap data structure, and for discussing that we need to recollect the basic idea about the binary heap data structure, and that is the topic for today. So we shall see what are heaps. This is the first question that we can try to answer. What is a binary heap? Here the picture shows a nearly complete binary tree. If you add 5 more child nodes here, it will become a complete binary tree. And now we can ask this question: how can we represent this data object in a program? We can see that we can represent this data structure, which is a binary tree, using a single dimensional array. If you look at this array, I am storing the nodes of this tree like first I am storing the root node, followed by the child nodes 14 and 10 of the root node. Then I am continuing this in the breadth first manner. So after this I have to store the child nodes of 14, which is 8 and 7. I am storing it in that order, then followed by the child nodes of 10, 9 and 3. Then the next in the breadth first order is 8, and whose children are 2 and 4, and only one more node remaining to be represented, which is the left child of 7, that I am storing here. And if you look at the indices of the array, you can easily observe a relationship between the index of a node and the index of its left child and right child. That we can you may try to identify that. We can ask a question: what is that relationship between the indices of a node and its left and right child or parent? So we can consider a binary heap as an array object like this, which is nearly a complete binary tree. So basically a binary heap is an array object like this. And what are the set of properties satisfied? If a node n, for example 14, is stored at index I here is 2, then what you can tell about the index of its left child, which is 4, the index of its right child, which is 5, and the index of its parent, the index is 1. It is not difficult to observe that if the node is stored at index I like this, then its left child is stored at index 2i, 2 into 2, here again 1 into 2, here 3 into 2, here 5 into 2, here 4 into 2. You can prove it using the principle of mathematical induction, and similarly you can observe that if a node is stored at index I, then its right child is stored at 2i plus 1, the next index after the left child. And you can also observe that the root node of this node at index 2 is stored at 1. Here it is stored at 6 by 2, and here it is 7 by 2, the seal of 7 by 2, you can easily observe. And this is the relationship between the indices of various elements in a binary heap. If you can please try to remember it. If a node is stored at index I, its left child is getting stored at index 2i, right child at index 2i plus 1, and its root node at index seal of I by 2. With this, now we can define what a max heap is. Here is an example, and this is the property that every node should satisfy. So I am looking at the node at index I. Is, if you take I as 2, the parent of I is 2 by 2, which is 1, and not that parent I means the index of the parent for the node at index 2. Okay, what is the index of the node at index I? So if you substitute I as 2, its parent is at index 1. Okay, and the property is that the value of the parent is as high as the value of the child node, and you can verify it in every position. Here the value is 8, parent has a value 14, which is more than 8, and for the other child also. So this is what is called a max heap. If you look at any node in the tree, its parent should have a value greater than or equal to value of that particular node. Okay, and if you change the order of these values, you will get what is called a min heap. That is, the parent will have the least value. Okay, this is the max heap where the largest element will be in the root node, and that is the property. I hope you are with me. Let us proceed and see some applications of the binary heap data structure. So now I am only looking at min heap or max heap. You can use it for sorting. If you have a min heap, you can use it to sort the elements in ascending order, and if you have a max heap, you can sort it, you can use it to sort the elements in descending order. Later we can see an example for this, and also you can use heaps to implement priority queues. These are two common applications for the data structure binary heap. With this, let us proceed and look at an algorithm to adjust a tree to maintain the max heap property. I hope you remember the max heap property, which demands that the value stored at a node is greater than or equal to the value stored at its left child and right child. And now we are going to consider an algorithm which is going to rearrange the elements of the heap to make it satisfy the max heap property. Now you consider this tree given to you, and not only the tree but also an index of a node is given. The index given is I, which is 2 in this particular case. Okay, and now you can see that this is not satisfying the max heap property, because if you look at the left child, the root node is not having a value greater than or equal to the left child. Even for the right child, the order is not satisfied. So the idea is to rearrange. Now you can see that you have to look at the node and its left child and right child. Okay, you can see that in both the cases the property is violated. So what you can do is, you look at the left child and you can see that its value is greater. So you need to interchange, right? Actually what you are finding is, you find the largest among the left child and right child. In this case it is 14 and the index is 4. And because the largest among the child nodes is greater than the value of the root node, what you can do is, you can interchange the values of the root node and the node at which the largest is present. If you do this, you will get this. So you interchange the values of these two nodes. Now the problem may arise in this node, because now you have got a new value here. So you can apply the same algorithm now at this node, and if you do that, what will happen is, you will look at this subtree, and among these two you will find 8 as the largest, and after that you will interchange these two. Okay, and you will get this tree, and you can verify that now the entire tree is satisfying the max heap property. Okay, and if you write this as an algorithm, it looks like this. This is the name. It is taking that array representing the tree and an index I, and it is assuming that you just have modified the value of that node, and that is why it demands you to adjust the elements so that it again continue as a max heap. Okay, that is the context. That's a very important information. Before you call this, it is assumed that the value at index I is changed. That may violate the property, and that is the reason for invoking or calling this function or algorithm. Okay, so what you do is, you can see that you are assigning the left child index, which is 4, as L, and R as the index of the right child, which is 5. Not that L and R are not these values, but the indices of these values. Okay, I is 2, left I means the index at which its left child is stored, which is 2 into 2 and 4 in this particular case. So the left index and the right index are here, and after that what is it doing is, between I and its left child index, it tries to find the largest. Now 4 and 14, so the largest is 14, and the largest is going to represent the index of this value, which is 4. So not that largest is not 14, it is the index of 14, which is 4. So first it is looking at that node and its left child and finding the largest among these two, and remembering that the index of the largest in this variable. Okay, you can easily verify it, and after that it will see it between the right child and the index. Okay, and here also the right child and the present largest. Sorry for this this grouping. Actually I am comparing between the present largest and the right child. Okay, and 14 and 7, in this particular case 14 is the largest among that two. So basically what we are doing in this part of the code is, we are looking at the left child and right child and obtaining the index of the largest among these three, and which is in this particular case 14, and whose index 4 is available in largest. And after that, what we did is we interchange, and that is what we do here. That is, if the largest, that is this value is greater than this, you will see that I is at index 2 now and largest is at 4. That means largest is not in the root node, so you have to interchange. That is what you are doing here. Okay, and after you interchange, you know that you have you might have got a new value here. In this particular case, you are getting 4 over here, and hence you have to apply the same algorithm on this node, because you now got a new value into this node which is 4, and which may violate the property. In this case, it is because its right child is having a value greater than this. So you are calling max heapify on the new subtree, and that is what you are doing. Now we are going to see what is the complexity of this algorithm. You can see that you have to find the time required to make it satisfy the relationship among the given index, its left child and its right child. So this is what we do, and you can see that you are executing only a constant number of instructions. Okay, it is not going to depend on the size of the array and all. It's only looking at its left child and its right child, and then it rearranges if required, and that is what you do from statements 3 to 9. So you can easily see that it is not going to depend on the input, and hence it is theta of 1. Why is it theta? Because there is no worst case or best case. Here it is a constant amount of time that you need. So theta of 1. So it reminds us to find the complexity of calling max heapify again in the new subtree. So this is what you do. Okay, in this particular example, you started over here, and after rearranging these two, you have to call max heapify on this subtree. Okay, and you note that the number of exchanges that you need depends on the height of that particular subtree, and which is not always the maximum height. It depends on, and every time you are moving down, so it gets reduced the size. And because we learned about amortized analysis, here basically you are doing a sequence of max heapify, and it is not difficult to prove that in the worst case, if t is the function representing the complexity, it is less than or equal to t of 2n by 3, where n is the number of nodes in the tree or heap. And because in the worst case, n could be the maximum number of nodes. In this particular case, out of the 10 nodes, only 3 are inspected, not 10. And if you move down, you will be looking at only one of these nodes. Okay, and if you closely observe it, do an analysis using amortized method, you can see that this is correct. And by taking it as granted, you can see that the time complexity of this operation is this. It is less than or equal to this quantity plus the time taken to adjust the largest among the 3 nodes. And if you solve this recurrence relation, you can easily see that it is nothing but big O of log n to the base 2. You apply Master's theorem, you can easily get it. I hope you know the basics of solving recurrence relation, which is a prerequisite, and if you are not confident about it, please recollect this topic that you have learned in your beta course, how to solve a recurrence relation. And now, for the interest of time, take it as granted. You can prove it as an exercise. So, you will get log n as the complexity of max heap phi. Okay. Later we will be utilizing this to analyze another algorithm which is going to utilize max heap phi as a sub procedure. Now we are going to look at a procedure or algorithm to build a max heap, and this is the algorithm I am directly giving it. And if you look at any heap, okay, when I say heap, that may not be a max heap. Given this, you can look at the indices. You can see that there are 10 elements in the array or in the heap, and if you look at any index beyond 10 by 2, 10 by 2 is 5, and if you look at any index beyond 5, that is 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, you can see that all these are leaf nodes in the tree, and that is true. You can easily prove it using the principle of mathematical induction. So, beyond the index n by 2, here n is the number of elements which is represented as array name dot length divided by 2, in this case is 5, and beyond that all the indices store leaf nodes, and if it is a leaf node, then it is trivially satisfying the max heap property because it is not having left child or right child. So, the property of max heap is satisfied. So, given an arbitrary heap, to make it a max heap, you only have to adjust elements from index 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1 because all others are okay, and that is what I am trying to do. You start at index 5 and you call max heap phi at index 5, then come down to 4, do it, move up, do it here, then here and finally here. So, that will let you get a max heap. Okay, not difficult to observe, and you can see that in the worst case, maybe because max heap phi is taking order of log n, a naive analysis may give you n log n as the worst case complexity, but because we know amortized analysis, you know that every time it will not take log n, because if you look at this particular case, it is just taking a constant amount of time, here as well constant amount, and in this case also only constant amount, and in general you can prove that it is bounded by n. So, it is linear. It is a very well known procedure in heap, and its complexity is linear. And with this, now we are proceeding to the most important algorithm using the heap, which is heap sort algorithm, and I assume that what we are given with is a max heap. And here again I am giving you the algorithm which I just copied from the Kerman textbook, and please do not get worried about this. This is a simple algorithm provided you know the basic operations that we discussed till now. So, what we do is given a heap like this. So, how many elements are there? 10 elements are there. You can verify that this is satisfying the max heap property, and what you do, you are setting I as the number of elements in the heap, which is 10. So, I is set as 10, and from 10 down to 2, what you do is you are going to exchange the values at I, which is here, and 1. So, this is what you are going to do. So, between these two you are going to interchange. So this is presently the largest element. What actually you are going to do is, you will take this element over here and you will delete 16 to the sorted list, and that is what you do. So you interchanged, and then see what you are doing is, you are decreasing the heap size by 1. It was 10, now it will be decremented to 9. So this is exactly what you did. You removed this 16, which is the largest element, and to the sorted list you are adding it. Now 16 is removed because it was the root node guaranteed to be the largest value. You have interchanged it with the last element in the array, and so you got that last element here, and you can easily remove it. And after that, of course, because you change the content of the root node, you have to call max heapify at the root node, and that is what you do. And if you look at this particular instance, you will see that among these two, 14 is the largest. So 14 will move up and 1 will come down. Again, max heapify will get applied over here, and then what will happen is, here it is 1, 8 and 7. 8 will be the highest, 8 will move up and 1 will come down. Similarly, the largest 4 among these two will move up and 1 will come down, and this is what is going to happen. All this way 1 is coming down, okay, and now you are moving back, and a dot length is now only 9. You will interchange 14 and 1. 14 will come down, 1 will go up, you will get 14 over here, cut it, and again going back and repeating. And I hope you are getting this algorithm, not difficult to see. And if you are not following, please watch it again and see what exactly is going on. So that is the algorithm. And if you want to look at the complexity, you can easily observe that n times you are calling max heapify, whose complexity is log n. So the complexity of the heap sort algorithm is in the order of n log n. Okay, and with this we are finishing this lecture. So today we have recollected the basic information about the binary heap data structure that you have learned in your undergraduate engineering course. So we now recollected that a heap is a binary, nearly complete binary tree, which is represented using a single dimensional array, and there is a relationship among the indices of the root node, child nodes and child nodes, and we have looked at max and min heap, a procedure taking log n time to adjust the elements of a heap rooted at a given node, and then we have used it to make a heap as well as to make a sorted list from a heap. And in the next class we shall see an advanced heap data structure. Thank you.